This conference will now be recorded.
Hello all, welcome to Isha Training Solutions. Uh, so we are going to uh, look at a demo session for performance testing using NeoLoad. So I'd like to start give introduction about myself. Okay, so know your instructor. Okay, I'm Naveen Kumar. I'm a certified expert in NeoLoad. I have worked across various domains like retail, BFS, insurance, healthcare, telecom, logistics, etc. I have over 700 hours of live training experience. This is my credentials. You can see it. So, what are we going to get from this course? Right? So, what is the benefits that we are going to get? Right? Let's look at that quickly. So, by joining this live sessions, there is going to be live Q&A sessions where we can discuss on various things. We can get it clarified. All the sessions are recorded and it would be provided access to every learner. Okay, it is a lifetime access, and we will be having some live troubleshooting sessions where if anybody is having any issue with their um, tool or with their setup or script, that what he or she can share their screen and we can all learn together. So this creates another opportunity to learn. Okay. And there will be a separate dedicated session where we will go through how we can clear NeoLoad professional certification. Okay, this course is designed to address some of this professional certification, and it is designed like the way how it is designed with the Neotis Academy. Okay, so let's quickly go through uh, about the course content. Okay, so we'll be discussing about various performance testing concepts. Okay, and we will, of course, we will discuss about the NeoLoad features, functionalities, components of NeoLoad, and modules, etc. And all of this discussion is going to be practical demonstration, and it is going to be hands-on. Okay, not much theory. Majority of it is just hands-on. Okay, and how this course is going to pan out. Okay, so we will have 4 sessions per week, and each session would be anywhere between 1 to 1.5 hours, depend on the topic. There will be a practical lab session as well. Okay, all right. I'll just quickly walk you through on the course content. Okay, so what are the topics that we would be discussing? Okay, so as just some of the topics like introduction to performance testing and NeoLoad. There will be a session where we will be setting up installation and setting up the NeoLoad, and then uh, we will deep dive into various modules. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So this is the previous batch, um, a project that we had created and we had worked with. Okay, as you can see, there are different modules here, right? Design, runtime, results, and there are like a few, maybe like 15 odd scripts that we will be developing. Okay, um, so here, so if we see this correlation is one of the core part of any script development, right? So we will be going through different types of correlation like auto correlation, automatic configuration, manual correlation, advanced correlation, randomization. So all of these topics we will be having a separate script. We'll be developing it. So as you see here, auto correlation, configuration, advanced correlation, randomization, etc. Okay, and then of course there is this checkpoint asserting the script, different types of checkpoints, and there is a variable manager where we will be looking at different types of variables that are available with NeoLoad and how that can be handled. And then there is a logical actions, right? Some of we will be looking at. So these are like kind of advanced concepts where we'll be also learning about this. And this will be there will be some dedicated sessions for some topic like let's say rendezvous, like what is rendezvous and how it is useful, and what is the significance of this, how we can approach this, and then do the execution and analysis and so on. And there is of course there will be some custom coding, some advanced topic that we'll be discussing. And next is this population, monitors, runtime, uh, results, and so on. I'll just quickly show you like what we. So this is the project that we had done in the previous batch. Okay, so here what we are seeing is just different types of scripts with the different uh, options. As you can see, like there is loop, while loop, there is JavaScript, so on. And there is this population where we have created a different types of population, and there are this monitors, runtime. As some of you may already know, right? Performance testing is not just one type of testing. There will be different types of testing associated. So we'll be looking at creating of different scenarios, as you can see, like load test, endurance, spike capacity, all of this different types. And then there will be like different types of executions also we will be doing it. So this is the results that we are seeing. As you can see, the recent execution was happened in the last month, December 24th. And there are other execution also, right? So these are like different types of uh, custom based scenario, how these are created. And there would be some, like we'll be like exploring different types of filter options, various innovative way of sharing results with the stakeholders, and so on and so forth. Okay, so this is just to give you an idea like what we would be doing in the entire course. And so I would like to open this window for taking in questions. So anybody has any questions so far before we uh, get into recording to the.
Naveen, myself
Yes.
Narsimha Reddy.
Hmm.
So I've been working with Jmeter.
Okay.
It's a NeoLoad is an open source. Sorry, it's not a open source, right? It's a
No, it is
license
not open
based,
source.
right?
Yes, yes, it is nice.
Okay.
Proprietary. Yeah.
So what could be the benefit out of? I had experience with Load Runner. If I learn this NeoLoad, so
Hmm.
how could I benefited with this? It
Okay,
is a
good
added
question.
advantage of learning a new tool, or
Mm, so if you see, right, the industry leaders are, of course, it's JMeter because of its
open
versatility.
source?
JMeter is kind of a open source and it is highly versatile, right? It can be used
Correct.
for functional, it can be used for automation and also performance, right? And JMeter is
Correct.
more like kind of a Swiss knife, correct? You can use various things. But when you look at uh, uh, performance oriented tools, you can only go ahead with load runner, or next this is it's coming up with neoload, right? With Jmeter, the limitation is it is the reporting is not so great, and it is there is like it is highly inaccurate, right? It is good to do certain automation. We can leverage that, but when we look at performance oriented, then load runner and neoload is are the leaders here. And neoload is recently it is being acquired by Trecentis, and they are being very aggressive. And it is yeah, neoload is coming up. A lot of banking BSFI, um, majorly BSFI healthcare and life science projects now, like many of them are migrating to neoload. So definitely I see some scope in future for this tool. Thanks for asking that question. Yeah. Okay, so any other questions?
Naveen, this is Surya. I have another question. Does this
Yes.
tool support capturing the end user response time or the page load time, similar to some of the tools available in the market, like Ninja, or is it just another protocol simulation tool?
So if I understand your question, are you looking to capture the page rendering time as well, like
Yeah.
the complete?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is possible. Yeah, this tool can be done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So in terms of the different load runner can support Jmeter scripts to be executed and other scripts to be executed from the load runner. Same, if I want to migrate from Jmeter scripts to the new load, I already one version of the one round of execution has done with the Jmeter. I want to migrate these to the new load. Do I need to create the new scripts, or can it be possible to migrate from Jmeter scripts to the new load?
Uh, Migration is possible, but if you the best part about neoload is you can save at least 60 to 70% of your time in development. So it is highly intuitive, and it is quite
Mhm.
uh, it is so since you have experience with Jmeter, when you are working with neoload, it would be so simple, and it looks like you are just like leaping towards the end results. We will see it right now. Like, let me
Yeah, yeah.
show you guys on a small recording. So
Okay, sure.
I will just start with something like this. Okay, so now I have just created a new project. Okay, and so as you can see here, there is this recording button, right? So I can just simply click on this, and now I'm seeing a recording, um, a wizard. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new script. I've just so here script will be called as a user path. Okay, so we will majorly work with web protocol, that is HTTP. Okay, there are other protocol supports also, that is SAP GUI and Citrix, but as a part of this course we will be focusing on web. Okay, and a client. So these are the different web browsers that are available in my system. Okay, so I will just go ahead and use uh, maybe Edge, or maybe let's use Internet Explorer. Then I will just choose to delete the cookies and clear cache. I'll enable these two options. I'll just click on OK. So like any other tool, like what we see, right? So there is going to be this recording bar. This is called as a recording bar. Okay, and so we can pause it, stop it, and where this like like how we see in load runner, there is init, action, and end. All the recordings should go in actions, and in the there is this transaction field where we can just start feeding the transaction name. Okay, so I'm just going to launch the application. Okay, I will just launch this. a demo application. Okay, so just launched this application and I'm just clicking on fish. Click on fish. So click on angel fish. Hi, I'm hearing some background noise. Request everyone to please go on mute. Just clicked on fish, angel fish. I'm just clicking on an item here. Say the first item. Then what I'll do is, let's say I'll just come back to the home page. So for the beginners, I will explain like what are we really doing, like why are we recording this, and what is we are just um, to give a short answer. What we are trying to do is we are trying to simulate a real user actions, right? So that is all we are trying to do. We will deep dive into this. This is just for the beginners, okay? So let's assume that I have completed my recording. I'll just click on this stop recording. If you see this, there is a post recording wizard. We will discuss about this. So for now I'll skip this step. Okay, this is used for like searching for the dynamic parameters, and I'll just click on finish. Okay, so all of our transactions got recorded here. Okay, so as you can see, it has a very neat uh, UI view. Okay, so what it says, so we there is this transaction, launch transaction. Under this transaction there are like 3 web pages that got recorded. Under each pages, so there are like some, so all of this document type uh, icons are there, right? So these are individual requests. Okay, so let me quickly show you like what exactly happened here using dev tool. So we'll also be learning about um, Google Chrome developer tool. Okay, so let me just, okay, I'm just opening up the developer tool here. Okay, so to open this up, we can just go to this click on these 3 dots, go to more tools and click on developer tools, or you can use this shortcut Control Shift I. So this simply brings up the developer tool, and we can monitor what is going on in the network or in the backend. Okay, so I'm just refreshing this page. Okay, as you can see, right? So what are we currently seeing? We are seeing um, different there is a like series of requests that got launched. So if we see this, right, if we look at this web page as just a simple web page, it has this, there is this let's say there is this images, there is this fields, there is this button, this link, and there are many different types of links, right? So all of this, see this, right, this icons, gifs, and there is the css file. So all of this together makes this web page. Okay, so there is one main request, that is this catalog.action, and followed by series of subsequent requests, which makes up this entire web page. Okay, so the same thing that got recorded here, so whatever that we had traversed using the internet explorer. Okay, so what basically happened is NeoLoad creates a proxy server, and this proxy server spectates and it just monitors whatever the traffic that goes in the backend. Okay, and those everything, whatever the traffic that happened, that got recorded. Okay, so likewise there is other transaction. So there is this clickwise, clickfish. So here again we see a different there are like 3 pages, and this is the main uh, request. and here there is angelfish, and then if we can see, so let me go back here. So let me click on fish. So here you can see like again some of the main request and then followed by some subsequent requests. Okay, so as I said, whenever a user action is making um, any actions in the application, that gets completely recorded, and later this needs to be enhanced, and then so this is a way of recording and then creating certain real time user simulation. That is a kind of performance testing, right? So we will further, so this is just like to give an idea like how this tool functions. Just a, it's just like a short simple demo. Okay, so what I'm now trying to do is I'm going to replay this, right? So this is in NeoLoad it is called as checking the user path. Okay, as I said, script is going to be called as user path, and we are going to check this user path. Okay, so see how simple it is. And so I've just click on start checking. So this will simply replay whatever that got recorded. Okay. Ideally, any workflows or any this recording can be divided into two groups, right? One is we can call it as like authenticated workflow, and another is authenticated workflow. Currently, we have recorded unauthenticated workflow. Okay, I'm seeing some errors. Let's see. So this is ICO icon. Okay, so it says like 404, which means something like client side issue. Anyways, this can be ignored. Ideally, this is called as embedded resources or non-HTML resources, which is usually will not be in scope for performance testing. But there are some projects that might, for example, like one of the learner was asking that he also need to determine the page rendering, right? In such cases, then this might be required. Okay, let me rerun this and check. So this is just going to replay or re-trigger the same requests. All right. So as we can see on the left hand side, we are seeing the script and its uh, so which action or which this is called as container. Okay, this violet color folder. So there are like three containers: init, action, and end. We will further discuss like what is this init, action, or end, and which transaction should go in init, all of those things. But for now, let's focus here. Like so, there are like around 5 odd transactions that we had recorded. All of them that got listed here. And here, right hand side, we are seeing so which transaction and which um, request. All of them can be seen here. And below, we are able to see its request, its response, and the response can be compared using this button. Um, so different things, right? Like yeah, and there is this advanced options that we will be discussing further, right, from the next session onwards. Yes, so I think so that's it. Like it really simplifies the work. Unlike even with load runner, I think the learning curve is a little bit high compared to this tool or any other tool. Even with RPT, if, I'm not sure if anybody has worked with RPT. Um, so yeah, so I think this has given a comprehensive idea about a short demonstration about this tool. So do we have any Any more questions? So it's okay. You can type it in if in case if somebody cannot speak, there is a
Do
chat
we have
box.
a cloud version of this tool as well, or is it on premises only?
Uh, there is a see cloud version means there is a cloud load generators that is available with
Yeah.
NeoLoad.
Okay.
Cloud LGs are available, but ideally it is mostly it is only with the on-premise.
Okay.
Yes.
And how is the licensing cost of this tool compared with the load runner? Is it specific to protocol, or is it we get it in a bundle, like as you said, Citrix, SAP UI, HTTP?
Yes, it is also so by default you will get a web protocol. If it is if there is a SAP GUI requirement or a Citrix requirement, then that can be separately purchased as kind of a module. They call it like a licensing module, right? So there is like different modules that can be associated with your license. See, there is again there is one other part, right? I think I'm not sure if you have worked on, there is something called as like server sent events, right? Where so if a client sends, it will be called as a polling calls, like just to maintain a session or something like that. But there is also a push notification or push message sent by the server. So these things will need a separate module, and this incurs cost. Some of
Okay.
this cannot be, yeah, Jmeter or the other open source tools are highly limited with this kind of applications. I think, yeah, NeoLoad has a support for it.
Okay. And how about the pricing for the license? Is it comparable to load runner? Is it expensive like Performance Center, or is it cheaper than that?
It is cheaper. So what I got to know is Loadrunner is way more expensive. But
True.
however, they are providing. They are also, since NeoLoad has started capturing a majority of the
Share
market.
market. Okay.
Loadrunner has started providing a custom-based licensing model for their existing customers. But however, still NeoLoad beats hands down just for the proprietary. Like if see for example, like banking, finance, healthcare, and some of these industries will never go with open source tools due to security compliance, right?
That's it. True. True.
Yes. So majority of them are now highly shifting into NeoLoad, and many of them have already migrated to NeoLoad. Yeah.
Thank you. Please don't mind, I'm asking too many questions because I need to make
No,
a
no, no, no. Yeah,
proposal
yeah.
for the test
Uh-huh.
tool. That's why I'm trying to explore all the possibilities.
Yes. No, no. This is actually open for questions only. They can ask any questions. If I know, I'll answer.
Yeah, thanks, Naveen.
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So, any other questions related to the tool or your, like maybe the course? Uh,
Navin, it's a
yes.
small question.
Yeah.
So, related to the Neo law, do we need to have a background of any scripting knowledge?
No. This tool. Thanks for asking. That's a very good question. This is the only tool that doesn't need any coding knowledge. It is, see, if you can see, right, majority of it like just click work, and it is easy, right? I mean, you can easily understand. uh, when we are working with NeoLoad, right, there's a lot of things that we can easily grasp it from the performance testing concepts perspective, right? So one has to spend, if anybody is working with load runner, one has to spend at least 6 months to even understand what is going on, like why they are doing, why they are using certain load runner functions. And there are so many things are there. Here it is like quite simple, and you need not need a serious coding knowledge to work with this tool. But however, there are NeoLoad supports JavaScript, and if there is any special conditions or special requirements, that can be achieved using a JavaScript. But most of it can be easily worked with the tools feature itself.
Thank you. Thank you, Naveen.
Yeah. So
And
any
Naveen,
other any yeah. Hmm?
most of the companies prefer for the open source tools in fact
Right.
of license.
Um, it depends, right? See, if it is a very small scale application, and if the company doesn't have any security concerns or compliance, then of course they can go ahead with the open source tools. But in case if they are bound to uh, work with some security compliance, and then they will not prefer the open source, uh, right? And different tools has different pros and cons for it. So there is always a market for proprietary tool, so we cannot ignore it. The load runner tool is surviving. It's because of its protocol support. They have so many n number of protocols since they had been the leader for a long time, and even they are carrying the legacy of it. But however, a majority of the stake has been taken over by Jmeter and NeoLoad now. Yeah. So any other
What would,
clarifications? Yeah.
yeah, what would be the cost of the certification for this?
Uh, NeoLoad, no, there is no cost associated with the certification. You can just register with Tricentis, and then you can make an attempt. Uh, but since you have brought the certification, right? So this course is will allow us to learn about different modules of NeoLoad, and this is exactly is designed like how it is designed from Neotis Academy, right? Since I have gone through the expert certification, so I have a fair idea or like how it is designed, and it is the same thing like how the course is designed, right? This will allow you to learn, and then you can clear the certification, provided there is some hands-on that we have done. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I don't know if someone else asked the question. I had to drop off in between since I was driving. How
No worries, no
difficult is
worries.
it for how difficult it is for someone who not doesn't have much of a coding experience to pick up this tool? Is there any particular programming language background required for this?
Okay, so yes, so
Assume
this
that
is
we
the
are
only
working on
tool.
a HTTP protocol,
Uh-huh.
HTTP website, that sort of a thing. It
Okay.
doesn't nothing fancy about the application.
Uh-huh. Okay. So this tool doesn't need any coding knowledge. It is highly intuitive, and it is a the tool's nature is a codeless design. You can easily work with the tool. Somebody was asking same question, so I was just answering. So it need not have uh, any coding knowledge or coding requirement. However, this supports JavaScript just for like any custom based requirement that that can be easily achievable.
Yeah, but will this still support development of any plugins
Development of any plugins as in?
or anything required for a custom code if the application is having that?
Surya, sorry, your voice was breaking or lagging. I couldn't grasp that
Sorry,
question.
sorry,
Can you please repeat?
sorry. Yes, yeah. Sorry. Now, assume that my application has a custom built security module, and the out of the box Neosis tool is not able to support it. But my developers are willing to give a plugin where it can bypass that or work like that. So will it support any additional plugins like that? Will it support anything? Are you aware of that? I'm just trying to explore and possibilities from the tool. That
Mm. Mm, as far as I know, I don't think so. We cannot install something from outside. But I think Neotis or Tricentis support. They have a very uh, uh, they have a lot of experts. So if we just come up with this, I mean, whatever your requirement, they might have a
okay,
solution for it.
okay. I will look into that. Thanks, Navin, and sorry
Yes.
if I'm asking too many questions. I'll shut my mouth now.
No, 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 no. This is actually it is open for questions only. It is you can ask as many as questions you want.
Navin,
Yes.
in non-functional testing, I have
Hmm.
one confusion. What is the
Yes.
difference between API testing and performance testing? Can you please explain?
Uh, Difference between API testing and performance testing.
Yes.
Okay, so if you see simple API testing, um, when you are just simply testing a specific API, that can be considered only as a functional testing. It's like
Mm-hmm.
testing API's functionality. That's all. The same thing can be applied with performance, where uh, the same kind of testing can be tested. Let's assume like so whatever the API testing that you are doing can be simulated like hundreds of users or maybe even more, and you get it right.
Okay.
So the same thing can
Yes,
be
virtual
created
user.
here. Yes, correct. Yeah, virtual users, and we do have a topic on this. So if you can see, right, uh, so where we will be looking at some of these topics were really interesting topics, right? Introduction to API, how we can create, so how this API structure would be. So there is a Swagger tool. I think Swagger, some of you may already know about it. Swagger UI, we'll be looking at it and creating different types of API requests. We'll be discussing about it. And there is a Fiddler, right? Fiddler is a network monitoring tool. So even how we can take advantage of Fiddler and checkpoints. I think checkpoints is just the assertions. It is just a different name or a different yeah, just a different name to the assertions or validating the script. So we'll be also like, so this is also a part of this course where we'll also be learning about some of the web services and yeah, thanks for asking this question. So
Thank you.
simulation of any API s- requests will be considered as like API performance testing. Yeah, that's it.
And in this course, are we going to cover any APM tools?
No, this is only NeoLoad oriented. NeoLoad tool. We'll be only discussing about NeoLoad tool. There are other courses for APM, and because it's a different topic altogether. Um
Hmm.
so I think there are other courses available with Isha itself, like Dynatrace, AppDynamics, and yeah, because that is a different thing altogether. We'll be only learning about
because
NeoLoad here. Mm.
yes,
Yes.
currently I'm working as a manual tester,
Mm-hmm.
not trying to switch in performance testing. But
Mm-hmm.
in interview, most of interview, I have noticed that they are asking for about APM tools with
Correct.
performance testing tools as add.
True. Yes. So if you look at APM, right, it is usually monitoring, right? So when we do any
Mhm.
execution or any performance testing, we also have to look at the server health, okay, how server health is doing, right? Because that's the only way that we could determine how the execution is has gone, has went. So it is required because that is the other side of the coin. Okay. So APM is also required.
Okay.
So it's like one tool and its corresponding APM. Any, but if you look at APMs, right, there are some of them. Most of them will have a similar features or similar kind of workable aspects.
Yes, the Dynatrace is the most popular, I think.
Yes, yes, Dynatrace. Yeah, Dynatrace is the industry leader for APM. They still continue to be in that position, and they offer a lot of
Okay.
features, cool features, and maybe because of that, even the Dynatrace, their clients, their own clients, is unable to migrate it. So this reminds me of one incident. So I was working on a project
Mhm.
for like more than 3 years. They were trying to migrate from Dynatrace, and still they couldn't do it because it is so vast, and it gives a lot of features that
Mhm.
other tools cannot provide it, or they don't. It's non-existent, maybe with AppDynamics, or but different tools has its own pros and cons. As I said, like there is Splunk, there is other there is New Relic, and many other tools are there. It is for different purpose and different
Mhm.
budget. Yeah.
App Dynamics and all.
Yes, yes. Dynatrace and AppDynamics are on top. There are others as well. Yeah.
So after
And
completing this course, can I start interviews or I have to learn the APM tools?
um, absolutely, you can start with, but still, you would need to learn a little bit on the APM as well, so that like what are the
Okay.
counters and how it is monitored, how we can determine. So there are different types of servers also. See, for example, if we go here, I'm just simply opening up this part. Okay. So don't get startled or overwhelmed by looking at this. Okay. So what we are seeing is there are different types of servers. Okay. So there is this Linux, there is based on operating system, it is being divided,
NS.
and there is
Mhm.
this different types of database. See, this Postgres is one of the popular, that is, it's coming up now. And I think MySQL or Microsoft SQL servers, these are like almost, it's there for maybe few decades, right? And these are like new age servers, and right, these are coming up like slowly. And then we see this, right, EJB tire web, and this one, like many. So there is this JBoss, Tomcat, and other different types of servers are also there, right? Of course we
Okay.
know this, right? Dynatrace Monitor and Prometheus is for like time series. And so this is also required, right?
Yes.
If we need to do a successful performance execution in real time, I'm telling. So this, as far as this course is concerned, it's a highly only the tool related knowledge here, and also the PT concept. And this could be a good start for any beginners. So I have successfully transitioned over 130 people. They were in from manual testing or automation, and then for some reason they got into performance because of
Yes.
maybe they wanted to explore, or
And
maybe their manager pushed them into that. It's of
most of these
different.
package,
Sorry.
most of more because non-functional have more package as compared to manual performance
Yes, yes,
testing.
yeah, absolutely, yes. Now, because now performance has become niche skill now, and it is like highly sought skill in the market, right?
Can this be integrated with APM tools?
Yes,
You just
it
showed
can
that
be.
screen.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. Yes, yes. So if you already have existing infrastructure with any APM, this can be integrated. But for this, you would need probably Neotest support, or maybe Tricentis support. Here they'll have something, and then they'll probably guide to integrate it. But however, in where I'm working, this is like kind of isolated. That is, the execution goes somewhere else, and then we monitor the results elsewhere. There is no integration as such.
How long is this course? How many classes did you mention? I forgot.
Yes, so the sessions will be around 22 sessions. Weekly, there is going to be 4 sessions or maybe 5 sessions. Um, so each session would be 1 to 1.5 hours. The total course content would be around 30-35 hours around. So
Okay.
how this will pan out is, we will be starting from the basics, and then we will get into population, and then we start uh, configuring, creating scenarios, and then executions. Then we will come back to the advanced topics. So the aim is to, in 2 weeks time, the basics would be done, and then we'll be moving on to the execution, so that the learners are enabled, because some of them would be in a, maybe they are already in a real time project, and they are attacked, and there is a lot of apprehensions, like how they can do it, right? So need not worry. So in 2 weeks time, this is the guarantee that I can provide. You will be able to at least create the scripts, and then create your scenarios, and at least start with some kind of executions. Also, in case if you are stuck with any technical issues, can also, like, I'm available, like you can also reach out to me, so I'll be able to support you on that.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So any other questions that I should answer?
I have
So
one more
just,
question.
yeah.
Uh, Dynatrace and Perform are same or different tools?
No, they are different.
Both are APM tools or monitoring tool?
Perfmon is some. It is a Windows integrated tool.
Yes, in
But
Windows integration.
Uh, Dynatrace is of like, see, when we use Dynatrace is like when there are like too many entities in the infrastructure. For example, let's say we have like six app servers, six web server, maybe three DB servers. So all of these things, right? All of them to monitor at the same time would be very very difficult, or it could be tedious activity. So that is when
Yes,
these APM tools comes in, and then so that all of this entire infra can be monitored at the same time, and then you'll get a very uh, intuitive dashboards where you can see like what is going on in CPU memory and various other aspects about the servers, so that if something goes wrong, you can easily drill down and see So there is this hotspots, there is a pure path. There are so many things about Dynatrace that gives us various aspects about the application actually. So there is this execution time, there is code run time, page loading time, many things like you get it right. So as in when you explore and when you develop the expertise into performance, you will probably like know like how to improve like. So the testing is all about like we're just identifying some bottlenecks and then sharing it, right? But so the next level is like kind of an engineering, right? So this also reminds me to bring up something. Maybe this is useful some of you, I'm unsure. So this was asked by previous learner, right? So as you can see, there is this. So this will we will start from here, right? So where it is like like we will start from the performance testing or tester, where we will be learning something like a tool, and there is this like as you can see, right? I have just clubbed this together like one performance testing tool and one monitoring or APM tool. Yeah, this needs to be done, and then as we progress in the career, so we'll just become a senior, maybe 3 years to 5 years experienced. Then engineering is all about it's not about the testing, but like the root cause analysis. This is where we need some coding skills, right? Maybe not like we need not do a hard code coding, but instead we have to at least introspect about how the code is written. Generally what happens is when a developer develops it, the developers only focus is to develop something, right? They will not consider from the performance perspective. So there might be poor coding, right? See if either we can for example maybe we can use a simple for loop and then complete some activity in a maybe some few lines of codes, or maybe the same thing can be dragged with different types of if else, those conditions, right? These things have to um, see looked into, right, when we become an engineer. And then there is this tuning. So this is when where we do some kind of complete automation and where we are involved in a sophisticated large scale application. Okay, and then is the the I think till here I know at least. So I am at here somewhere where we are looking at sophisticated large scale systems where we are doing some kind of tuning and engineering various other activities, right? So this is just like just to give you an idea, right? So how we can start and how we can develop the career and what we need to improve into so that we become an architect eventually. We can. And this is like um, if you have a mindset of analyzing something and then introspecting all of those things, then this could be your career. Maybe you will start loving it when you're investigating something, right? Yeah. So I'm not sure if I'm providing the right answers, but
Yeah, it's knowledgeable. Hmm.
so any other queries, anything on the course or anything that you might want to discuss? There is chat box also. You can type it in and then share it. So I'm just looking at the chat box. I don't see any questions as such. Okay, if there is no other questions, we can wrap it up. Maybe from tomorrow we'll be having a full-fledged sessions. Okay.
Okay, Navin.
Yeah.
Thanks for the session.
Absolutely. So somebody has asked whether the script can be reused. Yes, Kamala. Yeah, the script can be reused. Uh, so if you are referring to a different environment perspective, we can just change the environment or the server and then we can just run it. This can be reused. Or if you're, excuse me, if you are referring to different sprints or different releases, if the script is still valid between different releases, um, maybe based on the kind of uh, changes that happens within in the back end and in the front end, this can also be reused. Yeah, fine. So I hope I could answer your question. So any more questions before we could close? Okay, I take that as a no. Okay, thank you all. Thanks for joining. We will connect at the same time from
Tomorrow
yes,
we have the regular session, Navin? Okay.
yes, we will be having a regular session. Yeah, there was one more person was asking something, or I'm unsure. Okay, fine. Thank you all. See you. See you all tomorrow.
Thanks, Navin.
Thank you.
Thank you.